A Frankfort man officially has his freedom back after being exonerated after he was convicted in a 2017 stabbing.
John Brandon Lamont spent nearly 9 years in prison for a crime the Kentucky Supreme Court says he didn't commit. When the stabbing happened, the victim told police her ex-boyfriend committed the crime, but at trial said it was John Brandon Lamont. After the trial, the victim recanted, posting on social media saying she sent an innocent man to prison.
Lamont filed a motion asking the court to vacate his conviction. In 2020, he was denied. But 3 years later, the Kentucky Court of Appeals reversed his conviction due to insufficient evidence. But Lamont remained in prison then. Then this year, the Kentucky Supreme Court exonerated Lamont, and he is now a free man.
Well, in our top story.
First, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, the Savior and King of Israel. I just wanted to do a quick video showing this interesting case down in Kentucky, where a brother by the name of John Brandon Lamont was falsely convicted because of a testimony of a woman. He was falsely convicted, incarcerated for over 9 years because of false testimony of a woman. And this is a perfect example why it's dangerous to let women testify in important cases in court. And we're going to show you the wisdom of the Most High and His judicial system from the Bible and historical passages, why it's dangerous for women to testify in court, and especially in serious matters, which can cause people to lose their freedom. So this story about Mr. John Brandon Lamont getting his freedom after being falsely incarcerated for 9 years. Let me give you, this article says that Mr. Lamont was wrongfully convicted in Franklin Circuit Court in 2019 of assault first for the alleged poking of his neighbor and friend in 2017. But just months after his conviction, the victim recanted in writing and to at least 3 separate witnesses on the 3 separate occasions, stating she had sent an innocent man to prison and that Mr. Lamont had not assaulted her. The evidence supports that either her ex-boyfriend had stabbed her, which is what she told EMS upon their arrival, and exculpatory photos of the ex-boyfriend's injured and scraped hands and arms were withheld from defense, or she stabbed herself in a suicide attempt, as she had attempted suicide previously and was recently released from a psychiatric hospital. When EMS arrived, the blood was dried and she walked herself to the ambulance. So this is real important information here. This woman was not stable. So when the paramedics arrived at the scene, when she must have been cut up, she first claimed that it was her ex-boyfriend that cut her up. That was her first account that she gave. And then looking at her history, she's been in and out of the psychiatric hospital, and she is not mentally stable. And when you read Josephus, during the times of Israel, during the times of Moses, when they had a more just judicial system, they wouldn't just let anybody sit on the stand. You had to be competent. And this lady was not competent. And unfortunately, living in captivity in this Esau society, they love every opportunity they can have to throw an innocent Jacob in prison. And they're not too concerned about credible witnesses, unfortunately. So unfortunately, because of this false testimony of this woman, John Brandon Lamont was lost 9 years of his freedom. being convicted of a poking that he didn't commit or had nothing to do with. So article goes on to say that Mr. Lamonte appealed his conviction, and during the pendency of his direct appeal, KIP and EP counsel filed a CR 60.02 motion to vacate his conviction based upon the victim's perjured, another word for false statements, and additional Brady evidence that was uncovered during the post-conviction investigation. So I just wanted to use this as an example of many other people that have been falsely convicted because of false or poor testimonies of these silly women, silly or wicked women. And you got to be careful who you let on the stand, because a person's life depends on it. Now let's go to the Bible to show the wisdom of the Most High's justice system compared to Esau's. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 19, starting at verse 15. Deuteronomy 19, verse 15, KJV. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, in any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. So it's important to have multiple witnesses when trying to convict someone. Verse 16, this is important. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before Yahweh, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. So that's important. Let me run that back from verse 18 again. Or of 17, Salakia. Verse 18 now. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he hath thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. So they didn't have no wicked thing as immunity, where they want to get a big name or a certain person so bad that they will let the person, they will not hold the person accountable for whatever part they may have had in the crime, but they can lie and say anything without being held accountable. They didn't have that according to the Most High's laws. And when the witness testified, it just wasn't the accused that was on trial, but the witness was on trial also. So if what they say did not hold up or proven false, then they will get the judgment or consequences that they was trying to put the accused party on. So the witness and the accused will be on trial, unlike Esau's trial, where if they want to get you, they encourage people to lie, and they'll throw anybody with good or bad credibility on the stand to get the conviction. That's how Esau's society is, where people build their careers off convictions. No matter if they're not providing justice, but convictions. They get incentives to fill the jails up and lock up the biggest names possible. It's dangerous being a big name or successful Jake in this society, because there's a chance they may come after you because of your name. Now I want to go to Josephus to give you a historical aspect of the Bible. And he warns and shows the dangers why they did not allow women to testify in these trials. So Josephus, Antiquity of the Jews, chapter 4, or Salakia, book 4, chapter 8, part 15. Josephus in his own words says, "But let not a single witness be credited, but 3 or 2 at the least, and those such whose testimony is confirmed by their good lives." So you have to be a credible, honorable person for your testimony to be valued. They wouldn't let no crack addict or no 304 or someone that was living the worthless life take the stand. They just wouldn't let anybody. You have to be a person of integrity. Back to Josephus. "But let not the testimony of women be omitted." So you see that? So this is the wisdom and brilliance of the Most High when he gave the Israelites a law on how to judge matters. "But let not the testimony of women be omitted." Why? On account of levity and boldness of their sex. So let not the testimony of women be omitted on the account of the levity and boldness of their sex. Now, levity is one of those old-time English words, so let's look up what the word levity means. This is the Cambridge Dictionary, and the term levity means humor or lack of seriousness, especially during a serious occasion. So unfortunately, women on serious matters that are life and death, that where a person's reputation, livelihood, family is on line, they are selfish by nature, and they will use their emotions instead of using facts and integrity when giving a counter report. Not all women, but a lot of women tend to do that. So it is a dangerous risk to allow women to testify. And during the time of the Israelites, women would not testify. Now, if something happened to them, they report the crime and leave it up to the elders to judge the matter, but women would not testify because of their humor or lack of seriousness during the serious occasions. That's just typical female nature. And also it's interesting that the female at the time of Moses and when Israel had a society, they were a lot more honorable and credible compared to the women we have today that's destroyed in Esau society, living in the matrix. So they wouldn't let the women that were a lot more honorable, credible back then testify. The women in these times have no business testifying on taking the stand. And unfortunately, a lot of innocent brothers are locked up today because of false testimonies. And there's men that are wicked and think like women are emotional and get on the stand and lie and give false testimonies also. So let me read that again. But let not the testimony on Josephus, but let not the testimony of women be omitted on account of the levity and boldness of their sex, nor let servants be omitted to the testimony on the account of the ignobility of their soul, since 'tis probable that they may not speak the truth, either out of hope of gain or fear of punishment. But if anyone be believed to have borne false witness, let him, he that is convicted, suffer all the very same punishments, which he against whom he bore witness was to have suffered. So not letting women testify would not erase or eliminate all false convictions, because there's a lot of false police officers and detectives and a lot of false prosecutors and corrupted judges, but it would definitely eliminate some false convictions. And that story of John Brandon Lamont is an example why it's dangerous letting these females today take the stand, especially females that have no credibility. Well, I definitely hope this lesson was edifying. This is Brother Mikael. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Shalom and blessings to you.